All right, thank you, TGE. I'm guessing that we're live now. What's up? I'm TGH, and we're gonna be showing you guys Celeste True Ending. Now, I don't know if we're gonna be able to follow up the previous act, with Spike doing that very entertaining Super Mario 64 crowd control, but we're gonna try. So let's see if we can fit No Kid Hungry in the. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we should be able to fit it. Anyway, joining me on commentary, we have the one and only Ben Teasy. Say hi, Ben.
What's up? What's up, everybody?
Yo. Hey, if it's cool. All right, so without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get this started. So once again, this is Celeste True Ending. What that means is we're going to be finishing Chapter 9, which is the DLC, even though it's not really DLC. It's more of an expansion to the game that was released in September of last year. We're going to be completing that as soon as possible from a fresh file, which means completing Chapters 1 through 7, which is the main game, any percent, while collecting 4 Crystal Hearts to unlock the core, and then once we beat core, we can have access to Chapter 9 and complete Chapter 9. Simple as that. Well, at least in theory, it's as simple as that. So, all right. Yeah. So, without further ado, we're gonna go in 3, 2, 1, go. Hopefully my timer actually started. I can't see it. But, anyway. So, this is Celeste, the hit indie 2D precision-based, precision momentum-based platformer released in 2018, early 2018 by what was known then as Matt Makes Games, now known as Extremely OK Games, featuring Matt Thorson and Noel Berry. And so this game is really good, and we're going to showcase exactly what this game is capable of speed tech wise, and there's a lot of it, and it's going to come at you really fast in City. And Ben, if you want to explain a little bit of what's going on as I do it, because it's going to be really hard to talk and play at the same time.
Yeah, seems good. I'll explain it as I see it on my end. You are in real time over there, so can't explain it as fast as that. But the basic principles of Celeste revolve around the 3 actions that Madeline can take. Madeline can jump, climb, and as she'll find out at the end of this prologue here, dash. It's a very easy to learn, difficult to master system. You can combine almost any combination of those buttons to do advanced tech, and there's also some mechanics where if you are dashing down right, it doesn't affect, well, you gain additional speed as opposed to dashing in other directions, which resets your speed. So you're going to see Teach blaze through Chapter 1 here really quickly. And I do want to take a small second here to also shout out Pedro, Amora, and Heidi, who also work at EXOK Games, because they also worked on Celeste, and they almost never get as much credit as Matt and Noel, so I did want to give them a quick shout out because they're awesome people, and they're all over in the Celeste Discord if you ever wanted to give them a shout out or say hi or anything like that. So one of the main mechanics you're going to see throughout the game here is hyper dashing, which is dashing down and right into the ground and then jumping off the floor. By doing this, Madeline gains a much lower trajectory on her jump after the dash, and she gains a lot of speed. And you can combine this with delaying your jump input to maintain your jump, and that's what Siege is doing through most of this screen. You'll see that almost every time he leaves the ground, his hair is still red. It's because he is delaying the jump input till the last third of the dash, and that's allowing him to retain his dash throughout the screen.
So it's a 5-frame window to what we call extend a hyper dash, that you actually get your dash back midair. It is I think it's between the 10th and 14th frames of the initial dash input. Notice I said input and not the actual dash itself. It's because the dash itself actually takes 5 frames to start. It starts on the 5th frame, like after you hit the button. So every single time I dash, the entire game freezes for 4 frames. And on the 5th frame, you start dashing. Oh boy. Yeah, it's really hard to talk and play at the same time.
It's super interesting because there's actually stress in certain screens where the game has a rhythm-based system going on with the cassette screens, and you actually dash to pause the timer, but not the rhythm, and it allows you to save some time. Yeah, so TGH is going to keep going here, and the downright dashes into the floor, like I said, they work in the air. They actually also work due to the use of a demo button when you're moving horizontally as well. So sometimes you'll see TGH dash straight into a platform and still have that hyperspeed momentum. So that also comes into play later. And when you chain hyper dashes, you get an ultra dash, which is just even faster dashing. And you'll see in this next section here coming up that TGH is going to be chaining these downright dashes due to the angle at which you traverse these screens, and that allows him to gain even more speed.
Yeah, it's been brought to my attention, by the way, that my RTA timer did not start, so I just enabled the IGT full game timer. I hope that at least suffices a little bit. My apologies for that. At least the music is playing during this run. Last marathon run I did for Celeste, I had my game audio completely muted, and I played the first 3 chapters with no music, without knowing.
Of course you did.
Yeah. Whoa. Okay. Save the berry. Oh, okay. Well, we saved the berry at least.
Originally, when Celeste came out in categories that required you to do Chapter 8, you would get Chapter 1 and Chapter 2's hearts along the way as part of the requirements for the Chapter A barrier. But later on in Celeste's lifespan, it was discovered that you could beat the B-sides to progress to the next A-side. And in this category, completing 5B and 6B is a little faster than their A-side equivalents. So since those B-sides give a heart anyway, it allows us to skip Chapter 1 and Chapter 2's heart, since those are the 2 slowest hearts that we had been previously collecting. Nice save. Oh, never mind.
Wait, how far behind are you? Because I'm in huge mess right
now. You're unlocking the door right now.
Okay.
For the first Oshiro cutscene, I think.
Which one is the first one? I don't know what it is.
You're about to go up to get the key that takes you to Huge Mess. So you're going up and around right now to get the key to go to Huge Mess.
Okay, well, I'm hitting the first button right now. So you're like probably 10 seconds, 15 seconds behind. So in any percent...
No, that's a little bit more than 15.
In any percent, we go a different route here. Or in true ending, we go a different route from any percent. So I'm going middle here. You can do these in any order you want, but these are, you know... Certain categories have, you know, more optimal path to take. So we're taking the middle. But there's a reason we're taking the middle second here. It's because we're going to actually get the heart and then use an exploit to spawn on the top branch. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get the heart that's over here by backtracking here. That's how you normally get the heart. Whoops.
Okay, so it was actually on my end. I just refreshed.
Oh, okay,
you're gonna see TGH here. Gonna jump into the ceiling here, and with a little tricky save and quit. There's actually not a checkpoint for the game to put you on when you come in from that entrance, so it actually just puts you back at the top of the room and it lets you skip going all the way around to get into the top section there.
Yep, we utilize that again later. Okay. That was close. Yeah, so coming up, I'm actually going to be utilizing something called the Demo Dash, which is another exploit, arguably a glitch, but or at least the actual, like, you know, the process of doing it might be a glitch, but actually going through the blobs, which I'm going to be doing right here on this next screen, is probably not a glitch. It's just you're dashing through gaps in the hitboxes right here. So, like, there we go. So if you see a wall of dust bunnies like this, they're made up of little, like, circular hitboxes, like that all kind of just like conjoin together, and it just so happens that, like, normally they are 4 pixels apart, and your dashing hitbox, or your crouching hitbox just so happens to be 4 pixels tall. So it's pixel perfect to squeeze through with the demo dash. There are a couple different ways to do a demo dash, but all you need to know is that I have my controls bound so that I can just hold the button and dash to dash with a crouching hitbox.
Yeah, so long story short, if you are holding down at the start of your dash and then dash in the direction you want to dash, Madeline crouches while she's dashing, and one of the down directions, I believe it's on the keyboard, right? It's the down arrow on the keyboard that doesn't override your actual directional input, which allows you to hold down and also dash in other directions that are not down.
Yeah, commonly known as a demo button. But yeah, it makes it a lot easier. You can't demo diagonal upwards that way. That's all. So you need to do that manually if you want to do that, but I don't really do that at all. So Golden Ridge, which is chapter 4, introduces these bubbles as well as wind, which we'll see on this next screen here. So a corner boost there. Do you want to explain what corner boosts are, by the way, Ben?
So corner boosting is if you go into a corner and grab it and jump, you like gain momentum, I believe, right? And it allows you to like preserve, since you're gaining momentum, it doesn't reset the momentum you had from before, and you just like accelerate past the corner, I believe is my understanding of it.
I want to say optimally it's a 1.2 times speed boost, but at the very worst you maintain the momentum that you had.
Because generally in Celeste, the rule is, oh, this is a cool trick here.
Yeah, there we go. That's so ordinarily, you need to see or if you saw the white block that I jumped off of at the start of the screen, if you know Super Mario Brothers 3 at all, you know about the white block, that you crouch on the white block. There's an, oh wow, that didn't work. Whoops. Let's try that again.
There's too many things that are cool happening in this level.
Yeah, like it's hard to keep up with on commentary.
So
myself,
funny enough, when I got to that, I never associated the block in Super Mario Brothers 3, like the fact that it was the white one specifically that allowed you to hold down to go through it. I just thought it was like blocks on specific levels. So I never got that puzzle casually. I had to actually look it up. But yeah, you're supposed to hold down on the block and it puts you into the background, similar to the Super Mario Brothers 3 block. And then it T's just skipped all that real quick by just doing some nice little wall jumps at the top of the screen.
Yep. So now the hardest part of the category is behind us. Remembering to get the chapter 3 and chapter 4 hearts. That is by far the hardest part of this category, at least for me. And chapter 9, nah, not hard. Remembering the hearts, that's impossible. Alright, so we're gonna see some really intense wind sections here. But you'll notice that regardless if I'm facing a headwind or a tailwind, pretty much like my speed isn't actually being altered that much, because when you're in dash state, it actually doesn't matter like which way the wind is going. Nice little skip there, cool. The snowball. Because the wind does not affect Madeline while she's in dash state or hyper dash state.
And it makes the speedrun of this level much more tolerable than it appears.
Yes, yeah. I watched the other day, I forget who made it, but I watched a minimum dash TAS, and in this level, in chapter 4, the fastest form of movement in like intense headwind is just to spam like ducking while you're moving forward. It's fantastic to watch.
That sounds so funny.
Yeah, it looks ridiculous. Whoops. Alright, so moving on to chapter 5. Chapter 5 introduces these platforms that move like back and forth along a certain space when you dash. So it also
one of the best songs in the game here that we never get to hear,
yeah.
except in like ARB.
So we mentioned earlier that we do 5B and 6B, so we're just in here for the tape, and then we're gonna go ahead and quit out, and nice, got the yeet, nice,
very nice yeet there.
Also known as Depth's Corner Boost, if you don't like fun.
Nobody called it that. It's called the yeet.
But you'd be surprised. Nobody calls it that. Yeah, so we're just in here for the tape, and then we can exit out and do 5B.
Yeah, for some reason the TGH live split didn't start, so we're just using the in-game timer currently.
I even made sure it would work too, and it still didn't. It's weird. Oh well. Alright, so 5B, I mentioned earlier that we would come across that little spawn trick again that I did in 3A with the heart. So we do that in a pretty big way this chapter, in a pretty obviously not intended way.
Yeah, there's supposed to be a bunch of keys that you collect here in this first section to advance to the next section, but instead what we're going to do is we're going to come to this room here. We're going to enter it in an unintended way. We're basically going to go take this up transition here and then fall back down, and when we respawn, it puts us on the right side of the room. And that allows us to basically skip collecting, it's like, well, it's 3 keys casually and like 1 key before in the speedrun. And yeah, that lets us get all the way over here, and we don't need any of the red bubbles, and we don't need any to open any of the doors, and that allows us to save a massive amount of time in 5B, which is what makes like 5B faster than 5A, like even if you have to spend the time collecting the tape.
Yeah, believe it or not, like getting 5B, like doing 5B is actually like 25 seconds faster than doing 5A, which is like pretty substantial.
Insane without optimized 5A was getting towards the end of its life.
So you might be wondering like why the heck I just saved and quit there. So as it turns out, that's an IGT strat, or an in-game time strat. Because the game, so you might have noticed, by the way, that the game time doesn't tick while I'm on the level select screen. So we utilize that because we don't care about real time in this game at all. Like, we do not care about RTA whatsoever. So we do an IGT strat there. We save and quit, and that saves about half a second because that skips the waking up animation that Madeline does at the beginning of that section.
And we're gonna see here how grabbing an item maintains your momentum, and Theo is just like, Madeline just flies every time she grabs Theo. Like, it's just insane, some of these screens, how fast you start moving when you hyper dash into Theo.
Yeah, or ultra
dash
into him.
someone
Yeah,
else.
like ultraing into him is even faster. It's like actually crazy.
And we'll see this mechanic some more in chapter 9 when we get to the new mechanic that was introduced there.
That was not a bad 5B at all.
214?
All right. So we're going to do the same exact thing in 6A, by the way. We're just going to go into 6A, grab the tape, leave, and do the B-side, because in this category, it's especially faster. In any percent, it's like 10 seconds faster to do 6B if you do it well. But in this category, it's more like 30, because in doing so, you also skip getting into the heart somewhere else. Worthy to note as well that each B-side has a heart at the end of it, and they count towards your heart total. Nice, that's called lake skip right there. There's
So each
little piece of wall there you can wall bounce off of.
Each level in the game has a heart, but the A sides are hidden, whereas the B and C sides are just for completing them. So it makes it a little easier to get the hearts that we need to open up the core that way.
Alright, so I'm gonna shout out my good friend Revolucion. Oh, okay, you know what? Okay, screw it. I'm sorry, Rev, I'll let you down. But yeah, you can get a massive amount of speed there. And for whatever reason, I got like an in-between amount of speed. I'm not really sure what happened there, but anyway. But yeah, it is possible to get like a ridiculous amount of speed though. I just didn't get it. I guess I was a little bit late with my dash.
Six-speed is one of the harder levels to speedrun optimally because the screens are just so long that, like, if you die in them, you just wind up losing so much time. So while it saves time over its A-side equivalent, it's much more punishing to make mistakes here, I would say.
Also, I made a pretty good save a couple screens ago, but like, it was one of those saves that you'd probably just be better off dying. Anyway, it's probably just like faster to die.
Some of the later screens here have been optimized pretty heavily. It's really fun to see. So I'll try to point them out when we get these earlier ones.
Some of these screens as well, like this one, like if you die, you lose like 20 to 25 seconds or something. It's stupid like that.
Yeah, you really can't die in this chapter.
Yeah. So this is the descent of 6B, trying as hard as I can to fast fall whenever I can by just holding down, like, because holding down does make you fall faster. Some screens though, it's really hard to fast fall all the time. So sometimes I do let up on it a little bit.
Something that I believe you're doing at the end of some of these screens is water boosting, which we almost never really see in the run. And basically when Madeline's in the water, she can actually jump every single frame, I believe, that she's in the water. So if you have multiple jump buttons bound, which I'm pretty sure too, you can essentially like alternate them and get a lot of height coming out of the water if you're able to dash from ground level in the water. And it makes some of those transitions a lot easier.
Oh my god.
Now we're getting to the battle line section. Probably really confusing for Madeline because you didn't get any dialogue in 6B. She's just like, what the hell is going on?
Where'd you come from? Who are you? Why are you shooting at me? And
she's also going to be really perplexed about having two dashes instead of... Hey, she's just like, what happened?
That was a really good feather skip right there, actually. Oh, okay. That was, I'm really new to that diagonal up right there. So I didn't really know what to do. I almost got owned. By the way, I'd like to take a brief second to just say thanks for letting me run in this marathon as well for such a great cause. I was really excited to take up the opportunity to run for the cause of No Kid Hungry as well. Like, I'm also super pumped to see that we're like already almost to the goal. I think we're close to like, wow, whoops, we're close to like 12K now, aren't we?
Are we at $11,525?
Yeah. Now I know we're not going to be able to top like Spike's run, obviously, but I would like to see us at least reach 12K by the end of this run. And we still have like a good 35 minutes left of this run.
As TGH said in the chat, if you donate $5 or more during this run, you will be entered into a drawing for the 2 Celeste brothers. that I have been told are fantastic. I haven't seen them myself, but
I saw a
sounds
picture,
like a respectable man.
I saw a
believe
picture of them. They do look really cool. They look really good. Melty bead art, yes. Perfect. Apt description from Duke.
Very much so. And if you want to see a picture of the Celeste Pearlers and any of the other prizes we have up for grabs during this marathon, you can go ahead and go to speedgaming.org/prizes to view them all.
So I'll try to talk about this chapter because there's some new stuff coming on now that we have 2 dashes. This chapter gets really intense. Matt decided that this chapter did not need a floor, and so as a result, you were flying around in the air most of the time here.
You just also described, like, most of the B-sides as well. In fact, all the B-sides. Just take the A-side, just remove the floor. That's the B-side.
So you're saying the B-side, the floor is lava?
Yes. Precisely.
Now that we have 2 dashes, we can almost always basically create either an artificial hyperdash by dashing up first and then down, or a wall bounce by aligning ourselves with the wall on our first dash and then dashing up the wall. You pretty much push this Mad Alliance capabilities to the extreme here on this level. And because we actually have an extra dash to spare, something that we didn't see in Chapter 2 is that Madeline actually has the ability to hyper dash out of Dream. You normally don't do that because you lose your dash and the ability to hyper dash afterwards. But since you have 2 dash in this level, you're going to see Siege flying out of these dream blocks basically every chance he gets by inputting a hyper dash right as he leaves the dream block.
Jumping twice is still very effective for height, though, and out of a lot of these, they're actually faster, but I find hypering easier.
I love that screen so much. It's like just hyper dream block, hyper dream block, hyper dream block.
There we go, that's what I meant to do. What's going on? There we go. Regained our bearings. I'm gonna try this demo. Nice. There we go. Oh, wow. Okay.
Too fast for your own good.
As it turns out, I actually don't know how to do the screen but demo.
Something that's really interesting about the speedrun of this game is that the cycle-based rooms, because of the respawning animation, are actually slightly different if you die in them. You actually have to either like get back on the original cycle or have a backup strat for when you die.
Yeah, so essentially like every screen has 2 different strats you have to learn. God, please. Frankerzy? We call it the Frankerzy room.
I wonder how many people who have no idea what you're talking about are
Oh,
like,
probably
why?
most of them. Probably most of them, actually. The first time I ever said that, like, the first time I ever noticed, like, you know, the reason we call it the Frankerzy room, like, the first time I ever pointed it out, people were like, what? Oh my god. I can't believe I never noticed that. Nice. Perfect movement there.
I'm gonna put that into my runs when I come back into the game. Just straight dash into the pit.
So I'm actually going to try and skip this auto-scroller here by that, and good, alright.
Nice.
Don't pause. Just
Definitely don't retry. Please don't retry.
That wasn't good enough of a skip. We have to do it again. Retry. Okay.
Nice.
Did we mention like what the premise of this chapter is, like story-wise, by the way? It's basically like a culmination. You might have noticed, but like we're basically climbing back up the mountain, going through all the parts of the game that we've been through. Except it's obviously not the same, like, you know, not the same rooms or anything like that. But it's the same aesthetic and the same mechanics and whatnot. And like story-wise, you are essentially reclimbing the mountain. Because in Chapter 6, you get knocked down. Like, knocked all the way down the mountain. I won't say anything more.
At the end of Chapter 5, yeah, your evil purple-haired self sabotages you, sends you all the way back. And then, you're supposed to reconcile in Chapter 6, but we skipped that part. We went to 6B.
we skipped leveling up.
And so now you guys are working together.
I would say more about the story, but this game, along with a bunch of others, just came out in a bundle of sorts, whose proceeds are going directly to a fundraiser for Black Lives Matter. So it's...
That's fair. There might be some
I don't know. Like,
yeah,
I feel like a lot of people will be playing the game for the first time over the next few weeks or so. So I won't spoil too much about it, story-wise at least. Gameplay, you're out of luck. You're here watching a speedrun. Gameplay spoilers, you're out of luck. Like,
I mean,
sorry.
good luck doing any of this stuff on your first playthrough. This downdraft section is probably one of my favorite sections in the whole game. It's so clean. This, the way the extra gravity basically allows you to do some stuff that would not be possible otherwise, like jumping on all these spikes and stuff. It's just really...
Except Flag 20. Flag 20 is pretty bad. Everything else I agree with you, but Flag 20...
Updraft is the worst part of this game. It's basically just the Mega Man water level.
Disagree.
Water levels are the worst.
I'm not gonna make that. I could have skipped that, but I didn't land far enough on the right side of the spring.
If you have a few donations that you want to read after he gets to the summit here, the beginning of Chapter 8 is pretty slow, so you could probably squeeze in a few.
Yeah, we also have to go through like epilogue and stuff.
Yeah, just let me know when.
Heck, you can actually go like right now if you want. We still got like maybe about 45 seconds left of summit.
Beautiful. So we've got a couple of donations that have come in here. We have got a $5 donation from Demensa saying let's get to that 15,000. Then we've got a $10 donation. Diagonal Runabout saying save the animals. We got one calling you out, TGH, from TRL, $10 saying Celeste is always a treat to see in motion. Good seeing another run of yours, TGH, even if you are a magnet for technical whoopsies. Donation goes to Primrose and Octopath Traveler.
Wait, even if I'm a what?
A magnet for technical whoopsies.
Oh, well, yeah, not wrong. Definitely not wrong there.
I'm not gonna lie, I heard maggot and I was like, wow, that donation is rude.
I was like, well, I mean, if you want to be that brash about it, sure, but you know.
This is why you need to enunciate.
Don't retry a Flag 1. Okay, we're good. Heart attack central at the end of the summit there.
We've got a $20 donation from Mind of Me saying, donating to kill the animals and feed the children. That got a little creepy. Anyway, amazing to see all the generosity and talent in this marathon, and still one day to go. And finally, a $5 donation from Duke Firebird saying, feed all the kids.
Thank you for all the donations, guys. Very, very much appreciated. Keep them coming. Alright, so this is Chapter 8. This is technically post-game content now? Nah, I forgot to do the boost, whatever. So this chapter, the premise of this chapter is basically, so throughout all the rest of the game, when you touch the ground, you get your dashes refreshed. In Chapter 8, that is no longer true. So now you can either, so you either refresh your dashes by transitioning or by getting a dash refresh crystal. But yeah, Chapter 8 is actually pretty neat in terms of strats. Like, I actually really like it. Nice. Ah, I missed the big speed boost there. Oh well. You don't need to know that.
Obviously, the pretty straightforward mechanic of this level is that when it's icy, it's safer. When it's fiery, it's trying to kill you. But
Like so.
speedrunners do a pretty good job, especially TGH, of just going so fast that you don't even really realize the mechanics. Like, you would still have to figure this level out casually, even if you watch the speed. Half
Try
these
and
levels,
skip
they
this
do
one.
them in the backwards element.
Nice corner boost. That's rare. That's rare to get, like, that precise of an angle on that. Actually make that work.
So something that we probably should have talked about in the prologue is that Madeline actually goes a little faster when she jumps, which is why, since we don't get our dashes back on this level, you see Teach kind of jumping a little bit at the end of each screen,
Yep.
just maximizing like how fast he gets out of the screen.
That was an okay court. See if we can get the
Not bad, not bad.
see if we can get the ultras at the end here. So this last screen, like, gravity is halved, basically. So I want to. Wow, that wasn't even close. I
I was
completely
gonna
missed.
say, now that you started talking about it, there's no
of
way
course
you're
it was
going to
bound-
get it.
Of course it was bound to fail. Yeah, I completely missed, like, the initial hyper. Alright, so now that we've done all the first 8 chapters, now Chapter 9 is available. And Chapter 9 is a behemoth, like, almost 20-minute chapter. So this is, like, where the bulk of the run is, and it's the very end of the run. So enjoy. This chapter's kind of nuts, actually. One thing I'll detail right away, though, is something called moon boosting. So this game has corner correction up to, I believe it's, yeah, there we go. I just did a moon boost. So you saw the blocks, like, moving back and forth, right? Like, so they like give a little bit. Like, if you touch them, they give. They like move in the direction that you're moving. That combined with the corner correction actually, like, gives you a big boost in speed and allows you to like hyper super fast off of them.
Yeah, so at the start of this chapter, you have a little bit of a disagreement with your other half. So you only have one dash for most of this chapter, unless you pick up one of the pink diamonds that replenish both your dashes. There's also these pufferfish that if you jump on the top of them, you bounce off and push them down. But if you hit them anywhere on that circular area under them that you see detailed by the dashed lines. They actually explode and push you away, similar to a bumper from chapter 6 or 8. So that's one of the new mechanics introduced in this chapter. And a couple of screens here, we're going to run into the other one. They had a couple of long pufferfish screens here. For some reason, I thought your pufferfish got stuck on that one screen.
He
It
did
looked
for
like
a
he
minute.
just didn't
It
want to
happens
get hit.
sometimes. What's that? Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, it looked like he didn't want to hit the spring. He was just like, no, I'm going to stay in the electricity here.
Oh, shit. So there are two
So yeah,
paths
these
to take here.
jellyfish.
There are two paths to take here. I'm taking the upper one because it's slightly faster.
So the jellyfish are very similar to Theo in the sense that they retain most of your momentum when you dash into them. And that allows us to do really sick boosts through them. There's also, if you hold down when you let go of them, Madeline doesn't throw them. So by using his demo buttons, he's just able to, I mean, I assume he's using his demo button. He's able
just
to,
actually pressing just down.
wow, interesting. He's able to let go.
Example, no.
Go ahead.
I'm interrupting because remember that $12,000 goal we said we wanted to hit?
Yeah.
We blew past that. We're at 13,000.
Hell yes. Let's
And
go.
here is the donation that put us over the top. If you don't mind. I have an anonymous donation. I'm going to read the comment first, then tell you the amount. The comment says, TGH introduced me to Celeste when I saw him run it at GDQ, and I fell in love with the game and the community. Donating to a great cause in his honor. Let's blow past that goal. And that anonymous donation was $1,500.
Let's go.
Thank you
Thank you so much for the donation and for the kind words as well. Like, that's really awesome. Can we actually reverse off this cloud? I really appreciate it.
Accept teacher's ability to speedrun the game. You have blown his mind with the donation.
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt, but I figured that was a good one to do.
No, that's totally fine. Like, that is a reason to interrupt. Hey, we made it. There we go. Really? Yeah, so Madeline, essentially... As far as their hurt box
Sometimes she
goes,
just doesn't cooperate. If you
as far
speedrun
as
this game at all, you know this to be.
Yeah, this is proof that Madeline only has a head, like, on her hitbox when she wants to. No other comment. So
Madeline is a strong, independent video game character who does not need you to tell her what to do. Okay, so
well, she might not need it. I do. I need you to cooperate, Madeline.
Well, Madeline might not be cooperating, but the donors certainly are, because right after the $1,500 donation, we had another $500 donation come in from Neko-Neko-san.
No
Neko
way.
Kaneko-san saying, love what you guys are doing here for the kids and Primrose.
Thank you very much.
alright, Tej, I'm gonna need you to get it together here.
I'm gonna need you to be quiet then.
That's the opposite of why you asked me to come here.
Oh my god, please. Alright, so yeah, you can demo dash here. If you time it correctly, which I'm not. There we go.
Nice, nice.
Ordinarily, I would not do that in an actual PB attempt, but, you know, it's a marathon. Why not? Alright, so that's a fake heart. And this
so usually,
particular...
you need 15 hearts to get through here, but Tej is like, I don't care. So don't believe everything video game developers tell you, kids.
Exactly. Isn't that the point of speedrunning? as we're moving into the Event Horizon checkpoint. This is where the music starts to get really good. Shout out to Lena Rain, by the way, the composer of the soundtrack for this game. It's like absolutely phenomenal.
She also recently posted that any of her music, except for the stuff in Guild Wars 2 or Minecraft Dungeons that you like, you can use on your stream.
Yep.
She gets permission. So if you really like the Celeste soundtrack, you can listen to it. You don't have to worry about being music. Yeah, so this is a checkpoint where the game like dashing officially. So you'll see that actually intended for you to bounce off a lot of these platforms. Like the next platform is actually way too far for you to get it with a regular dash. I love this screen because it took forever for people to realize that you could grab the side of those blocks and then get on them without them crumbling. That was just like a 4B strat for like the longest, but they were able to evolve it and bring it to Chapter 9, so I thought that was super cool.
What was that?
That was swag, is what it was. That was...
Alright, so this screen is infamous for being like one of the most difficult screens in the chapter. Oh, come on. But yeah, there's a little skip you can do here that saves like 2 seconds. That is pretty difficult. Try one more time. God, it's... That last dash just gets me. This is also something I wouldn't ordinarily do in like a full game PB attempt, but... Gotta do it for the marathon. Gotta do it for the marathon. If I could just, like, make it to the platform, that'd be great.
Have you done this screen before?
No. There we go, we got it. Okay.
I have to get that little bird in. Nice.
All I needed was for you to taunt me then, that's it. That was all.
I love that the strat for that room has evolved to like racing that falling block all the way down so that you can jump on it
Yeah.
at the bottom. That's super cool.
Oh, it's got the big speed. Had a tough strat here. Being able to just like fall on there. That's not terribly easy. Something I've gotten better at though.
Chapter 9 does a pretty good job of like mixing in like super technical screens like with some other screens. Like
Yeah,
in
there
between.
are a lot of like, for instance, like this screen right here that ironically I just died on. It's supposed to be like a break screen. You can demo dash through this. Failed it once. There we go. So here's an interesting route deviation here. Here's an interesting point of the chapter. Come on, man. There we go.
Nice
So
little
that's a thing.
demo shortcut there.
Demo dashing is canon. So is hyper dashing straight into spikes. That's also canon.
Yeah, I think I saw that in the trailer. Pretty sure that was in there.
Yep. In the trailer. They probably used my footage.
This screen is super interesting to optimize. It's one of the more unorthodox rooms in the chapter, I would say.
Yeah, it kind of comes out of nowhere. Oh, that's... That is not the spring that you kill your momentum on.
He does a very nice strat on this screen here, where he preserves his dash so that he can wall bounce under.
You were saying?
Well, we get to see it again.
Want to see it again? I can show you it again. There it is. Alright, there we go. God.
So normally if you exit to the right there, you get a checkpoint there in case you die, but speedrunners think they're too cool for that. So you got to do it again from the get-go.
Alright, so this is the last screen of determination. And it's a good one. Feathers plus wind. So taking that bottom path there actually skips a trigger that makes the wind come at you instead of with you. So it saves about 3 seconds.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Okay, so this is stubbornness. So if you remember the cassette blocks from the cassette rooms, aptly named. Yeah, so imagine if you just built like an entire checkpoint out of those. That's stubbornness.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but these blocks are on a global timer, right?
Not really. They're really strange how they work, but like what they do on the next screen depends on like when you finish the screen before. It's so weird. Honestly, I don't really know like what's going on with these blocks.
Yeah, I just know it's a nightmare to practice that section.
Yeah.
Because like how you finish the rooms before it really impacts what's going on, and then
Nice.
Very nice.
Okay, that's stubbornness. That's actually a pretty good one for me.
And now it's time for the song that makes me cry every time I hear.
Yeah, it's time for this, like, the real, like, meat and bones of this chapter. Is that a thing that people say, the meat and bones? I realized
sure?
that as soon as I said it, I'm like, that's not a thing that people say, Teach.
Yeah, so this time everybody's working together. The bird, Madeline, Battleline, everybody's in. The jellyfish, we're all one big happy speedrunning family. Trying to get to the end. If you say so, then
that is until I die 15 times on the last screen. Oh. Okay.
Well, I didn't even know you could die like that.
Me neither, to be honest with you. Cycle's different now. Okay, we're good. There are a lot of really cool little time savers in this section.
Yeah, you'll see that the way he hits the power blocks, I guess, at the end of the sections, they'll like usually hit them from behind or from below just to like minimize how much time Madeline's recoiling and stuff like that. It's really interesting speedrun section.
This screen's also really cool.
Meat and potatoes, somebody said.
Okay, yeah, that makes more sense. Meat and bones doesn't make any sense. I've realized that now.
I just hear Amber giggling.
Meanwhile, Amber laughing at me from the peanut gallery.
Look, I have my headphones on.
Oh, that's such a cool strat.
Oh, what? Apparently you can do that.
The highlight of the run for me.
Alright, so if you're really tight here, you can make this cycle. Good. Yeah, we got it. Cool.
Nice.
This screen is also cool because there's a sway cycle at the end of it that you can catch, and you can skip a little part of the ending. So instead of going up and around like it wants you to go under, there we go. just skip the battle line over there.
This screen right here took me years in my casual playthrough because I could not stop like just instantly dashing back into the springs. It was so fun to just keep being like boing 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 boing. I'd spend more time playing around on this screen than actually trying to beat.
That's how you know it's a good screen. Nah, it's whatever. I tried.
That screen was super fun as well as a speedrunner since we were already used to wave dashing. I saw a couple people that weren't used to it like not have too much fun.
I can imagine. It does take some time to get used to it. Oh.
I was like, wait, can you do that? Oh, you can. I didn't know that.
I'm gonna try this. Got it. Nice.
Oh, baby.
I don't know how much time that saves. It's gotta be like, it's like a couple seconds probably, but...
You know me, if it looks lag, I don't
never
care
go
how much
for that.
time it saves.
That's a marathon only strat. Oh! That's a new one. That's a new one. Alright, last screen. Let's go. And there's a reason this is the last screen of the chapter.
This screen is very long and has no checkpoints. It's very intentional. Matt wanted it. Wanted you to have a very large sense of accomplishment after getting through it. I think we all cried either out of relief or out of joy. Get this nice little updraft section where you can just infinitely.
Yep. Holding up here actually makes you go up quicker, by the way.
And then we have the free fall of faith here. You have no idea what's coming when you do this casually. There's no way to see any of this. You just gotta kind of figure it out on the fly.
Alright, so brave strat here. Ooh, okay, we're good. Alright, so time will be coming up when I touch the last battle line orb after the feather. So here's the feather. And time. And that's Celeste's true ending.
Not bad, not bad.
And what was that, like 5142 IGT? And I don't know what the RTA was, but I think it was under estimate. I think it was under an hour.
Yeah, there's no way you spent 8 minutes in menus.
Yeah, so like that's Celeste's true ending. I don't really have much else to say other than this category is really good. This game's really good, honestly. Really good speedrun to learn.
It's one of the best games of all time.
Yeah, really good speedrun to learn. Really good game to just play if you haven't. Honestly, even if you don't like platformers.
Especially when you get to the meat and bones of the game.
Yeah, thank you from the Peanut Gallery. Yeah, so just thanks for watching. Thanks again for having me in the marathon. Thanks to Ben for commentating. And thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you TGE for hosting, and thanks Feasel for putting this on, and everyone from SpeedGaming. I'm TGH, and this has been Celeste, true ending. And I'll actually see you guys tomorrow as well. I'm running Link's Awakening Switch tomorrow, glitchless, at around 6-something p.m. So yeah, I'll see you guys then.
Nice.
Peace out.
Go,
What's coming up
donations
next?
I want to read for you. Didn't have a chance to during the run, but at least one person here was calling you out during the run. At a $5 donation from your commentator Benteezy saying, TGH is a nerd, but he's a nerd who's blazed through Celeste for a good cause. Props on the run.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Also,
Thanks, Ben.
during
Thank
that,
you.
I got a $15. I can't even read because my mouse is going up. I've got a $15 donation from the Mighty Giant Dad with no comment, a $10 anonymous donation, a $50 donation from Balivor that was just a heart, and a $20 donation from Spectre Elenko saying, Celeste is one of my favorite runs to see, and TGH is one of my favorite runners to watch. Donation goes to the Primrose Route of Octopath Traveler.
Yeah, thanks for all the donations during the run. Guys, really appreciate it. It's for a really good cause. You guys are doing great things. Thank you. Thanks very much.
GG, dude. Thanks to all the donors. It was a blast. I had a lot of fun. And I hope the marathon continues to be a success. At this rate, you guys are gonna smash that goal and then some. Just keep it up.